And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Ooh, welcome back to oh my god. Oh Jesus, what's happening with the cameras? But welcome back, everyone, to the playoffs here, the playoffs of Maestros of the game, the finals, the offline finals. Even we just wrapped up with the upper bracket finals, and Clem does advance on over Reynor into the grand finals, and Clem is waiting for the winner of this next series, of this next ZvZ. It's going to be a Zerg versus Zerg matchup between Serral and Reynor. Oh boy, let's go. The Basilisk boys are going to be facing off. And as a reminder, this is a rematch. As they alluded to earlier in the losers interview, they explained, or they did mention, that Reynor, he did dominate Serral the previous time that they played in this tournament. But if you remember, that was Serral playing from his vacation home, playing from a cabin in the woods, if you will. Oh yeah, we got some fan art. We're playing from a cabin in the woods with bad latency, as he was lagging out. If you recall, he was lagging out throughout the entirety of that series, just because he was playing from the middle of nowhere off of his mobile 5G internet. So there's I don't want to give too much excuses, but legitimately, like, there were reasons as to why Serral was performing as poorly as he was in that series. Now those excuses aren't there. Right now we're both in the same venue, of course not the same setup, and of course you got the crowd behind you all blaring and all that stuff, but regardless, we do have equivalent kind of like setting here for both players, and we'll see how they do compared to each other. We'll see if Serral can get his revenge. Let's go as Vitas are underway. Oh, the table move. True, the table. Can't understand that tribalism. Yeah, it's kind of weird. Like, for me personally, like, I'm like, just, I mean, as always, was just a big fan of, like, players for sure. Big fan of Hero, big fan of Ryungjua. True, Ryungjua pack. Big fan of Ryung. Bunny as well. True, Bunny. Dark, Eric. All the X and adjacent Axiom boys as well. True. Bang Taesu, who's now competing in Brood War. But for now, the Vitas are underway. We do have Gressvan and Golden Wall being vetoed out of this ZvZ. And we do expect to see quite an intense matchup as well between these two players. We often do see a lot of aggression between Serral and Reynor. Of course, infamously, Reynor, he barely didn't defeat Serral at EWC, even though he was so close, even though he was favored, to be honest, in that series. Like, he was ahead at multiple points in a lot of those games, but alas, did end up fumbling the ball, did lose that lead eventually, and Serral was able to claim it back. It was impressive play to Serral, of course, but again, a bit of a rough performance there from Reynor, again, when it comes to that EWC series. But now they're having that rematch. As Vitas are now done, Vitas have wrapped up, and we will soon be getting into our fresh series, our fresh best of 7. This time it's going to be TKL hosting, meanwhile Funka and Coca on the casting couch. Let's go. If you notice, they have been rotating. It was Coca hosting first, then Funka, now TKL. Who's going to host the final series? True. Who's it going to be? As for those that are unaware, that is the trifecta that is Comeback TV. That's the 3 casters, is TKL, Funka, and Coca. Again, my hope is I still want to. I want another rap. Give us another rap, papi. Gibbs. That's all I want. I like those little shopping carts on the shelf behind them. They're very random, but yes. We got the shopping carts, we got like the microwave, the trophy, of course. I love how for a lot of like Premiere or like not even just Premier, even Home Story Cup, they typically like have like the trophy like on a little like mantle or in a stand or like somewhere where like it stands out. Here it's just off by the side. It's just thrown away like behind the casters. It's fine, don't worry about it. It's there. Let's go. I would have loved if they had like a nice little I mean, if you remember, this is what they did with the Brazilian circuit with El Circuito Brasileiro, is that they had like a production camera of someone going through the venue and just showing off the venue itself. That would be really cool if they had that here as well. I'd love to see like the club itself, like what it looks like all together. But here we go. Looks like the Vitas are done. We're getting into our first game of this series. The best of 7 is upon us here. It's been a very long, very intense broadcast so far. We're halfway through. We got 2 series left to go, and we're here to determine who will advance on into the grand finals. Let's go. As spawning in the top right-hand corner of Ultra Love, we have the Italian Zerg player. We have the blue Zerg representing Basilisk. It's the Italian Stallion. It's El Ricardinho, papi. It is Reynor. I was too fast. Also, I love how it makes sense. We have Reynor's heartbeat. Do you notice something? Serral. Someone get the defib out. He has no heartbeat. There's nothing there. There's no beat. Oh no. In the bottom left corner, we have the Finnish Zerg player. We have the red Zerg representing Basilisk. It is the reigning world champion, of course. It is Serral. Zero heartbeat. No. Someone check his pulse. Someone check him. Get the defib ready. Aye. But here we go. We are getting into our fresh best of 7, and of course, before I forget this time, if you're in the chat, predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we jump into our ZvZ best of 7. As I mentioned before, this is going to be a rematch. Honestly, Reynor was looking very in form and was looking favored when they faced off at EWC, but alas, some mistakes were made, and in the end, we saw that Reynor was that Serral, he recovered despite some disadvantages, and did it bring Reynor down. Meanwhile, in their most recent series in this very tournament, Reynor, he was looking dominant over Serral, but I did mention that Serral, he was at his vacation house. He was off in a cabin in the middle of the woods. Ooh, we are rushing into +1. Okay, we're rushing into that looks like +1 carapace, by the way, and that should be for an early timing, an early flood. Reynor is getting ready for some very early aggression, and we'll see if Serral can realize what's going on. I say +1 carapace. This could just be +1 melee, right? You start +1 melee, it lines up with link speed, and then you go for a link flood. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, melee. He's going from melee into link speed into link flood. Let's go. So the reason why you get +1 melee first is because melee takes longer to produce and link speed takes less time to produce. So you can actually start link speed with your next set of gas. There it is. Link speed is on the way, and they're lined up. Like link speed and +1 melee, they should be lined up and good to go. Reynor throws down another Evo chamber here as a part of the wall to hide his build to throw Serral off. Now, Serral behind this, he is assuming it's 2 base Roach, so he's going to be going for a third. So Serral's getting a third base, getting into link speed. Now, because right now Reynor is faking 2 base Roach, Serral, there's a high chance, there's a high chance that he skips his Baneling Nest. And you can see here, Serral, he skips the nest, going for the Roach Warren. And this is technically the correct thing to do if you're up against 2 base Roach, because you don't want to waste gas on Banelings. But because there's no Baneling Nest, that means that this link flood from Reynor could just kill. It straight up could just kill Serral. You see the third base being taken. Lings are banking up Reynor, and Reynor, he's soon going to pull the trigger, and Serral's pants are down. Serral, his pants are down. There's that Roach Warren. Lings, he'll soon pull the trigger. Does reveal his Lings. Already a tell. Already a sign of things to come. Behind the Serral, he's got roaches on the way. Bailey Nest is what he knows. Yeah, Bailey Nest on the way. He's now aware that there should not be this many Zerglings. Something is wrong. And Reynor, he may reveal his hand too soon. The longer this goes on, the better it's going to be for Serral. We gotta send it. Reynor actually investing into those upgrades. Interesting. Lings a threaten to dive. Oh, he commits. Yeah, he does commit in. Surrounds a queen. Surrounds a queen. One queen goes down. Breaks through the Zerglings, but does not get on top of the roaches. Yeah, nice defense here from Serral. He shuts down the Lings. That was 28 Lings for one roach and one queen. Better defense from Serral, and Serral has a better economy. This entire time has been mining for more. Now Reynor does have a follow-up 1-1 roach timing. Okay. The problem is, Serral, does he hit first? He should. He should hit first. And again, Reynor just took too long. Reynor, he took far too long here. He's being outscaled. And we'll see. I mean, if he can somehow survive this, then he can, of course, have his 1-1 timing. His 1-1 upgrade timing. Meanwhile, Serral's on 0-0 because he's not droning. Like, Serral is going for a 2-base all-in. 2-base all-in out of Serral. Thankfully for Serral, he was able to scout and make his roaches in time. And he's going for it. And he pulls the trigger, this time with Banelings to defend. To make sure he does not get surrounded. Oh no! Yes, Reynor, he runs into the Banelings. No, he runs in. Whilst they do graze the army, but there's not much here for Reynor. There's just not much here. Lings, they collapse in, they get us around. Banelings make their way into the mineral line. Drones are falling. And Serral is snowballing out of control, diving on the main army. Yeah, Lings, they do get into the mineral line. More Roach is going to be going down, more Ravagers as well. And Serral, he's just snowballing out of control. Again, Reynor, he was all in, and the all in failed. And this is just the result of that. Of the failed all in. Whilst they shut down some of the eggs. Roaches get surrounded. GG gets caught, and Serral takes game number 1. Whew. GG. GG, well played. It was a cheeky build out of Reynor. Reynor, he went into the fast Evo chamber, fast +1 melee into the Ling Flood. Unfortunately, if you remember, he revealed his hand early. He showed his Lings to the Ling harass at the 3rd base, so he showed his hand, and that prompted Serral to do what? To make roaches. To make roaches to not drone. He droned up to 41. That is, again, under 2-base saturation, so low drone count. He did not over drone. Made roaches, defended. Snowball out of control. GG. GG, well played. So nice scouting there out of Serral, able to recognize what was going on, and with that, the pressure is now on Reynor. Now, I say that was merely only game 1. You know, there's still plenty more games ahead of us, plenty more games to come here. So, do not worry, do not fret. We will get ready for game number 2. Here we go. Reynor low heart rate. I mean, that makes sense. Like, after the initial flood, after the initial all-in failed, that is when you smooch. Like, so that does make sense. The smooch was real, man. The smooch was real. But here we go. We're getting into our next game, getting into game 2. Game 2 going to be loading into Incorporeal. We'll see if we can tie things up or if Serral will extend his lead. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Incorporeal, we have the Italian Zerg player, we have the blue Zerg for Basilisk. Can he bounce back? It is Reynor. God. I was trying to line it up. I was trying. They're still going. Who is he? Ritalia. Ricardo. He's right there. God. They still got. There we go. Jesus. And in the bottom right hand corner is where we have the Finnish Zerg player, the Red Zerg representing Basilisk, leading the series 1-0, the reigning world champion. It is Serral. No longer lost in the woods, no longer in the cabin. He has found his way out, wandered into Paris, into France. And here he is with that 1-0 lead. Remember, Clem is waiting for the winner of this series. So this time we do have a standard opener, Hatchgat's Pool. Standard opener out of Reynor, standard opener out of Serral. Last game we did see the early Evo chamber into +1 melee first before link speed. Shouldn't be the case here. Should be able to settle in. Don't forget to stretch. Don't forget to stretch, Papi. Don't forget to stretch. Whew. As we are getting into our next game. So far, everything's looking normal. Third base for Serral, third base for Reynor. Both players are playing as standard as possible. There's no early setup. Now, from here, we're still waiting for any big deviation. We should be seeing Baneling Nest all around into a Roach Horn, into Evo Chamber. So far, a hidden nest out of Reynor. Ooh, okay. Bold move. Does hide his nest. And is he going to try to make it look like he's skipping Banelings? If so, then Serral will Link Flood and will Link Flood into Banelings themselves. There's that Link Flood. There it is. So 16 links in production. Again, the reasoning for this is because as far as Serral knows, the Baneling Nest for Reynor is delayed. We can see that it isn't. So here we go, soldiers move out. Here's a big investment. Defensive railings on the way. Reynor, he does not want to waste them. His railings are waddling in. And nice control here from Serral. He's gonna kill the base. No shot there, despite the railings. Only one connects. The hatchery goes down. 2 drones. Oh, that should not have happened either. And Serral takes the lead. Serral, he's looking very comfortable here. Morphing in his own defensive railings. Reynor, who was trying to be cheeky at the start of the game, but not quite worth it. Gets a queen. So with the survival training force, like it's like when the main characters in the anime need to survive and power up and come out stronger. Yes, he spent there was a time skip, and Serral, he was in the wilderness. He was he unlocked gear 7. He's gonna go Ultra Instinct. He has Zenkai'd all over Ichigo. And now he has unlocked the hidden path. I don't. No. As from here, we do see Serral. He's so far keeping up with the links. Nice around though. Catching a queen. One queen goes down. As Reynor, he has to get whatever he can. Remember, Reynor, he's behind. He lost an expansion. He lost a third base. Down an entire expansion. So I was just chilling. You can just drone, saturate. Now, there is going to be a faster plus on range timing for Reynor. True. So he does have that power spike here. With fast plus on range, you can rush into +2 and then have that faster +2 timing. That is something available to him. Reynor had same supply. As a reminder, Reynor has a worse economy because he lost his base. That is why the worker counts are not the same. That is why Serral has a greater economy, and that leads and translates into a larger army size as the game progresses here. If I didn't make that clear earlier, I do apologize. But that's the result of Reynor losing his hatchery. Ooh, and Serral being a little bit cheeky here, going for the Spire. Okay. Does go for the Spire, does go for the Mutas. Now, Reynor, the question becomes, does he wait for +2? Does he wait for +2 before he moves out? If he waits, I mean, then Serral's going to have the opportunity to actually make use of these Mutas. So I'm a little bit concerned. Do we say the soup lies? Is it the time to say the soup lies, Pappy, the soup lies. But Serral, he has had a higher worker count for longer, if you hadn't noticed. There was a time where he was up, I want to say, like 8 drones. But I do like this for Reynor. Reynor is going for Drop Lords. So he's going to be more aggressive here. We have Overlord speed on the way. As you mentioned, there's a lot of pressure on Reynor to get some damage done soon, before the Muta play. As mutas are popping out, you can see that Reynor, he's waiting for +2. He's waiting for his upgrade. He's harassing with the Overlords, which is nice with the Dropper Lords, but the main army's staying at home, so the mutas are going to get up and running. Oh, he scattered though. He saw. Well, nah, he didn't quite see the Spire. He is thankfully blindly going for the Hydrogen, so he will have some anti-air. But mutas are about to hit the field. And mutas will just get free damage here on the roaches. Oof. Yeah, Reynor, he has to get the hell out of here. Drop into the main base. Serral, he does take notice. He does keep up. Bailing's dropping in. Nice reaction out of Serral once again. He pulls away. And the drops are being dealt with. Yeah, the drops are being dealt with. Serral, he defends his main base, defends his third. Army moves out. And Reynor is being forced back. And with that, now he's stuck at home. He's stuck at home, Serral is maxed. Now, when it comes to the mutas, not really going to help too much in a head-on fight, especially as Hydras get incorporated, but Serral has map control. He has map control, he's containing Reynor. This tells me that Serral can freely take another expansion. He's catching up in upgrades. We spoke earlier how there was an upgrade lead for Reynor. That will soon be no longer there, as Serral's catching up with +2. Ooh, and he's incorporating a Luddling Bane. That'll be ideal against the Hydras. Again, Hydras are being forced out. 5 meters, a one-shot drones. Another 4 drones falling. And we're still waiting for Bailing speed. Yeah, Bailing's getting caught out. Not bad. Nice pickups out of Reynor. Denied some of those Bailings. Oh, that's still going to be 9 more drones falling. And can they get on top of the Hydras? He's going for it. He's going for the Hydras. Bailings are rolling in. Oh, knocks down the rocks. Yeah, nice choke point here. Reynor, he's holding on. He's surviving. He's holding on outside of his natural. Serral rotating around, getting into Burrow, tunneling claws. Meanwhile, Reynor, he's taking out further into what? Into Lurker Tech. Now, Lurker Tech will outscale Roach Ravager if he can get there. Yeah, Serral cannot push into the concave. Better fight for Reynor. Oh, at the same time, Bailings to roll in. Oof. They get half a mineral line. 8 drone kills. 8 more drone kills, and at this point, Reynor, he's in a really brutal position here. Again, this is another example of says you don't want to be like misinterpreting the game state here. Reynor is far behind just because he has no bank. Serral, he can fight, he can trade, he can rebuild and remax because of his economy. Again, the soup lies, pappy, the soup lies. As roaches, they poke in towards the third, they push in towards the fourth. More drones going down, more bases going down, more importantly. And yes, on the one hand, Serral, he will lose this army, but remember, Serral can replace the army. So he gets into the main base, gets into the mineral line, more drones going to be falling, again, ensuring that Reynor's economy is crippled. And back at home, Serral, he's remaxing. Reynor, he's all in. It's all or nothing for Reynor. Yeah, you can see here the economic advantage. So it's not the 15 drones going down. Okay, there are so many banelings. Okay, we have 3 lunkers, pappy. 3 lurkers are on the way. That's the Hail Mary play here for Reynor. As this is his one chance, his one shot. He's pushing in. Bailey trying to engage. Serral just has to be patient. Just patient play at a Serral. Yeah, Bailey's they crash in. They get on top of the lurkers. Yeah, so far 1 lurker does go down. And Reynor, he's just plummeting here. Trying to force his way in. I mean, the lurkers, they do add a lot of DPS in the back line, true. At least they're trying to as they get close. These are Lair-Tech lurkers, yeah. They are Lair-Tech lunkers, they're doing what they can. And you can see that Reynor, he's just running out of steam. Again, because the economic advantage that Serral's had. Because of the crippled economy. And with that, Reynor, he will lose everything. GG gets called. Serral, he will extend his lead 2-0. GG. Whew. GG, well played. And again, Serral, he was just able to take, maintain, and extend his economic lead throughout the entire game. He was just a really rough start for Reynor. Winding it back, remember, Reynor, he lost his third base, lost the expansion. Because of that, he fell behind in the worker count, behind in the economy. There was that +2 timing, true, that we did mention, but before +2 hit, what hit instead? Mutas. Right, we had the Spire out of Serral so he could get into his muta play, gain map control, and nullify that upgrade lead that Reynor had. Because sure, he had +2, but he couldn't actually make use of it, and eventually Serral, he was able to catch up in those upgrades, and of course, still extend that economic lead as well. GG. GG, well played. Whew. And with that, Serral does take that 2-0 lead, and we'll see if Reynor can begin the comeback here. Now remember, it's a best of 7, so plenty of games ahead of us, plenty more games to come. Plenty of opportunities to recover in this series. Serral has no bank, can't replace. He did have a bank. So I do apologize if I didn't make it clear, but again, Serral, he was up in workers, he was up in economy, so he had more money to spend. He did have a larger bank than Reynor. That's why, as you saw there towards the end, Reynor had no supply to work with as he was bleeding out units, and Serral was replacing whatever he was losing. At this point, I feel like SC2 Expert might just be trolling, actually. Based on the comments that are being made, I don't know. I shouldn't get baited. But here we go, getting into game number 3. In the top left-hand corner, we do have our Italian Zerg player, the Blue Zerg, representing Basilisk, down in the series, but it's still a best of 7, still plenty of opportunities to recover. It is Reynor. I was too soon. I was premature, Pat. Premature. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Persephone, we have the Finnish Zerg player. We have the Red Zerg representing Basilisk, as well as their teammates, leading the series 2-0. It is Serral. It's a bit, yeah, it looks like it. I have to imagine. As from here, we're getting to our hatch gas pool. Standard openers out of both of our players, both Reynor and Serral. And once again, we'll see where our players do decide to deviate. We'll see if anyone goes for an earlier Evo chamber. We'll see if anyone tries to be cheeky again. As a reminder, what happened last game, Reynor, he tried to hide or tried to make it look like he was going for a Baneling Nest less opener, where he was trying to hide his Baneling Nest, trying to make it look like he was skipping tech and trying to catch his opponent off guard. And it looked like it was working because Serral, he was baited into a Link Flood, but he killed the base. Like he killed the third, which was brutal. So Reynor, he was playing from behind after losing that expansion. As we mentioned, like his one advantage that he did have available to him was that faster upgrade, but he unfortunately just wasn't able to make use of it. He didn't know that he was on a timer. He failed to scout the Spire. Otherwise, I'm sure we would have seen more aggression out of Reynor to try to break Serral before the Mutas kicked in. But here we go. We're getting into our next game. As Reynor's claiming his third, so is Serral. Everything looking normal so far. This time no one is skipping their Baneling Nests. This time no one is skipping. And for the first time this series, this is the most standard ZvZ we've seen so far. Like up until this point, we saw that Reynor, if you remember game 1, he rushed into fast +1 melee into an attempted Link Flood. Game 2, he had the hidden Baneling Nest that he was trying to fake out his opponent. Game 3, everything's looking normal. Like this is where we're getting into the most standard game that we've had so far in the series. Baneling Nest are finishing up. We do have a bit of a Link Flood here for Serral to apply some pressure. Safety Banelings out of Reynor, and from here we should just be getting into the mid game. From here we should be working towards Roaches into Roach versus Roach play. There's that Roach warrant for Serral. Reynor has yet to throw his down, but we should be seeing it soon. Lings poke in with good enough Baneling control though. Oh, speaking of, Serral does attempt to intercept. Oh, baits out one of the Banelings though. Better trade for Reynor. Reynor does snipe one Baneling, and so far so good. Reynor's holding. Reynor's holding, Reynor's defending. +1 range is on the way. Unless I missed it, I believe that Reynor did not throw down a Roach Warren, right? Which is a little bit concerning. Player has begun. There we go, Roach Warren's on the way. I say concerning, it would have been concerning if Serral was going to try to make use of the Roach Warren early, but he's not. He got the Roach Warren, but he's not producing any Roaches. He's playing catch-up instead. Getting into his lair, getting to his own Evo chamber. So just like the previous game, Reynor, he will have the earlier upgrade, and he will have that lead, and potentially a +2 timing. As we're settling into our game, though, we do see that Serral has taken a worker lead and a worker advantage. He has been joining a little bit harder. Reynor did invest into some Zerglings here. That's why his drone count is low. Oh, he's going for an all-in. Okay. That makes sense. No lair. No, yeah, they're pointing it out here, the observer. No lair for Reynor. He's going for a hashtag all-in. That's also why he's not droning. Reynor, it's all or nothing, going purely Ling Roach +1 as his timing here. So +1 range is on the way, and ideally he wants to hit with that upgrade. Serral, he's producing his own Roaches. He has to confirm. Ling pokes in. Does get eyes on the Roaches. He knows. Yeah, he knows. It was a cheeky move out of Reynor. I don't know if you noticed, but Reynor, he actually main arted over from the natural to make it look like he was droning when he wasn't. So his natural base is actually undersaturated to make it look like his third base is more saturated than it really is. And here we go. The all-in is upon us. We'll see how well the Banelings will connect for Serral. Likewise, Spine Crawler is almost done. It's still going to be a tough hold, though. It's going to be a very difficult hold. As we have more Lings reinforcing behind this. That's why Serral doesn't want to waste these Banelings. Don't want to waste them. As Lings are being zoned away. Ooh, a lot of the Banelings do go down. Yeah, not quite the best connections for Serral. Roach Ravager pushing in. Serral does have the defender's advantage. 2 more Banelings moving forward, catching out Lings. But there are so many Ravagers left over. There we go. He takes out the Spine Crawler. Spine Crawler does go down. And Reynor, he's doing it. Yeah, he has done it here. Again, this is where the Banelings were needed to zone away. Queen's now moving in. Another Ravager goes down. And the crowd is behind it, but the Roaches, never mind. The Roaches coming to reinforce, and Serral, he's holding. Wow, Serral, he's holding on. Reynor almost broke through. Casito, papi, casito. Like, Serral didn't have the best Baneling connections, but reinforcements took so long, and that lair is a sign. That lair tells us that Reynor doesn't believe. Not anymore. And Serral responds with a Spire. So the all-in has failed, and Reynor's falling behind. Again, tech-wise, he's in a worse position. Upgrade-wise, we're even. Plus on range all around. But the lair is very late for Reynor. And of course, drones are non-existent, right? Reynor, he's got 48 workers to 61.
Swarm forces under attack.
And there's going to be no answer to the mutas here. Does get supply block there. Okay. Does supply block Serral. you're an animal, Pecoeta. You're an animal. Oh no. Ask you, what do you want to be when you grow up? You're like, I want to wear no pants. You're an animal. Este Pecoeta. As they're just showing off the economic lead that Serral's had this almost entire time. Mutas are on the way. And they will gain map control. They can shut down the overlords. They can force away the roaches. They can give Serral more time to get into his upgrades. They'll just make sure that Serral's that much more comfortable. As mutas are revealed, Reynor, he instantly throws down the Hydrogen. Hydrogen is thrown down, Spores being thrown down as well. Now, thankfully for Serral, he didn't really invest too hard into mutas. I believe he only got around 5-ish mutas here for map control. And then he's focusing on roaches. Oh. Hopefully everything's okay. The clean feed a little bit dirty for a moment. Un poquito. As mutas even chase down the Ravager. They don't quite get it though. Ravager does survive. Oof. Gets 3 drones. Doesn't lose any mutas yet. Reynor looking for a way in. So once again, morphs in a massive wave of Banelings. 26 Banelings finishing up. And Serral, he's pushing. Oh, does get caught out though. Yeah, nice catch. Very nice catch here out of Reynor. Serral, he wasn't ready. And Reynor, he just keep going. Yeah, he can just keep pushing. He can, and he should just keep pushing here. Serral, he was not paying attention. He got caught out. He got caught. Oh, but Reynor, he doesn't press his advantage. Yeah, just really careful play here out of Reynor. This will allow Serral to remax. Now, as we're remaxing, I will say that as time progresses here, I do actually want to favor Reynor if he can get into lurkers. If he can embrace lurker tech, then Reynor, he will have the better quality army. Banelings rolling in. Oh, nice counter Banelings. Very nice. The counter Banelings. But I believe there's only one Baneling left. Yeah, just the one. Doesn't connect. He's going for the Hydras. And once again, rolling forward here. Biles a graze some of the roaches. And Serral, he does not have enough. Does take care of most of the Hydras, though. Most, not all. Reynor's holding on. Oh, I just realized, yeah, Reynor, he's still stuck on 3 bases though. Yet to take a 4th. Serral, he can afford to take some inefficient fights. Oof, as Reynor does take some biles to the face. The biles, Papi, the biles. Yeah, and now Serral, he's just going for it. He's going for the kill. Nice fungal. Fungal does connect. Biles will zone away, but Serral's army is getting very softened up. A bit of miss rally here out of Serral. Throwing away 3 roaches. They'll throw some away. It looks like Serral will have an answer to the lurkers if there were to be any, as the Vipers. Vipers are getting ready to abduct. Or even Blinding Cloud. Raider's moving in. He's moving in, he's pushing. Serral setting up a flank. Here come the Blinding Clouds. Fungals aren't helping. And with that Reynor, can he barely break through? Yeah, better flank on the right hand side. Reynor is doing it. He's pushing in. Free damage. Oh, that's a lot of free damage. Yeah, Serral, he plummets in supply. As he ran past the army. Ay, ay, ay. And Reynor, he will make a series out of this. He'll make a series out of this despite being down at 2-0. I was trying to hear what they were chanting. But yes, Reynor, he will break the 3rd base. He'll push on through and we will have a back and forth here. No one-sided series. No 4-0. No shot as our boys are being pulled. Serral getting desperate. Yeah, desperation out of Serral. As Reynor steps in, chasing him down. Oh, cheeky moves out of Reynor. Very cheeky. And yeah, from here he's just going for the natural. Serral, he barely has a standing army. Barely anything left here for Serral. You see Serral, I mean, he's distracting reinforcements. He does have bottom right, but GG gets called. And Reynor, he will put that point on the board. He does fight back. Let's go. GG. Whew. Loving the crowd shots. But GG, well played, Reynor. He does fight back. Again, this was a bit of a more intense back and forth here, with Reynor attempting aggression. If you remember, sorry, winding it back, Reynor, he went for a hatch-based all-in. He went for a hatch tech all-in, which did fail. And we saw that with that lair lead, what did Serral go for? He went for a fast spire into fast mutas. With those mutas, he was able to gain map control, and Serral was able to take a lead, able to get ahead economically, get a 4th base. But what did Serral do with that lead? He was hyper aggressive with what? With Roach Baneling. Basically, when you go for these Roach Baneling compositions, they are very one and done. The goal is to end the game, is to just break your opponent with one massive explosive engagement, break through, and then just snowball out of control from there. The problem with this, though, of course, is that he was being outscaled as the game progressed, of course. We saw that Reynor, getting into Hydras, didn't tech up into Lurkers, of course, but did go Roach Ravager Hydra, which does kind of outscale if he's not caught out by the Banelings. And we saw the Banelings, they were having a really hard time actually pushing through, actually engaging with the army, and collapsing on those Hydras. It's a kind of a composition that has less longevity from the side of Serral. But here we go. We're now getting into our next game. Going to be loading into Tokamak. I would say most defensive map of the map pool. We'll see how that applies to ZvZ. In the top right hand corner, we have the Italian Zerg player, the blue Zerg representing Basilisk, putting a point on the board. Can he tie up this series completely here? It is Reynor. Ricardo. And in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the red Zerg player, the Finnish Zerg, representing Basilisk. Leading the series 2-1, it is Serral. We go. Whew, so... Oh. Yo. There it is. Did someone draw a sink? Why is there a sink in the background? Is there no sink at the venue? Is that... Now here we go. From here we have our standard openers. Welcome to Tokamak, of course. Longer rush distance by ground. Typically aggression is not favored here on this map, so we could see longer game states. Standard opener into Mutaplay. Mutaplay would be viable here, very much so on Tokamak. We'll see. We'll see what our players do embrace. Reynor showing his true form. And Reynor's been very cheeky this entire series. Like, it's been mainly Reynor going for these more aggressive builds. So what's it going to be this time? Reynor has yet to embrace mutas himself. True. Has yet to do so. This might be the map for it. Serral unsinkable. Ah, I see. Oh no. Cab. Nope. As you see, Serral getting his Bailey nest before his third base. Well, no, just getting his Bailey nest. Reynor, he's going to be skipping his own nest here. Okay, there we go. I was curious. Just slightly later, slightly more delayed. We'll see if Serral does try to make use of that earlier timing or not. For the most part, both players are moving into the same direction here. Just an earlier nest for Serral. Ooh, as that is, speaking of early Baneliness, very early Roach Warren. Okay. Very early Warren here from Serral. We'll see if he does go for an early push.
Swarm forces under attack.
Likewise, Reynor going for the earlier Evo Chamber to get into +1 range, I would imagine. And his range is on the way. Roach Warren just now began. Link Shot does confirm the Evo Chamber, does confirm the upgrade. And Serral, he's pushing, he's going for it. It's Serral's turn to be the aggressor. As I mentioned before, every game so far, it's been Reynor doing something cheeky. Now it's Serral's turn. Here we go. Yeah, Serral, he is committing quite hard to this. You can see how low the drone count is for Serral. He's essentially 2 base all in. So 2 base all in out of Serral. Reveals his hand. Spine Cooler's on the way for Reynor. Can he survive? Can he get there? Oh. Yeah, Bailings, they do peel off. Nice control with those lings. Serral, he avoids the Bailings. And every Bailing goes down. Yeah, every Bailing goes down. And Serral, the all-in, is snowballing out of control. He's breaking through. The Spine Coolers will not finish. 1 does complete in the mineral line. Bailings, they still do zone away. Oh, Serral's running out of steam. Oh god, the Bailing! Bailing pops off, but Reynor defends. Reynor, he holds. Reynor heals, he cleans this up. Now, throughout all of this, Serral was droning. You can see in the drone count, he's up 10. He's up by 10 workers here. So Serral, he's been droning up the entire time. The downside is that his army is now lacking, but he's getting a spine crawler. Roach production now begins after the droning. Serral, he should be able to defend. Especially because Reynor's not reinforcing. Yeah, Reynor, he's droning up behind this. Reynor, he has to back off. And Reynor pulls away. So he maintains his lead. Pull up your pants, Pappy. Hurry. No. I mean, he did pull him up in the sense that Reynor didn't straight up die, but he is behind. And we'll see how he can recover. As you can see, that economy swing in favor of Serral. No lair for Reynor. Oh. The longer this goes on without a lair, the more all-in this is looking for Reynor. Reynor is cutting workers at 50. Cutting workers early here. And Reynor, he'll soon just send it across the map. He'll soon just send it back. He's going all in on 2 and a bit bases. 2 and a third. If that. Yeah, Overlord goes in for the scouts. He sees some saturation, but not too much. And here comes Reynor. It's all or nothing. He has a massive army. Either he kills Serral or he dies trying. This is it. This is his moment. Spiles, they attempt to zone away. Serral collapsing in. Has a better concave. Biles, they do force out some micro though. And they do graze the army of Serral. They do graze. With that Reynor, he is trying to force his way through. Biles are connecting. Oh. Yes, some of the Biles are connecting, but Serral is getting on top of the Ravagers. Only some. Let's transfuse. He's getting on top of the Ravagers themselves. And remember, the longer this goes on, the better it is for Serral. Reynor doesn't have a lair. He doesn't have tech. Yeah, there's that Roach speed kicking in. Faster reinforcements, diving in the army. And Reynor has to get the hell out of here. And with that, Serral now getting into +2. Again, the lair's already done, so +2 is on the way. And it's gonna be a tough road to travel here for Reynor, for sure. Oh boy. A lot of droning to do, a lot of teching to do as well. If left alone, then Reynor can recover. So just waiting for those upgrades. Again, there's nothing really pressuring Serral to push out ahead of time. Just as a chill. Serral dipping in. We're getting to Burrow, Tunneling Claws, just doubling down on those Roach upgrades. And here comes the move out. So Serral is going to cut workers at 66. That is 3-base saturation. So he's cutting workers. Making more Roaches. Again, Burrow, Tunneling Claws, Drop Lords as well. Coming in from all the angles. And here Constantly move out.
Swarm forces under attack.
Through the center. Reynor does have a Ling run by ready to counterattack. Does have Rennie. So moving in. Meanwhile, the Spine Cool putting in a lot of work. Nice concave out of Reynor. Better fight for the blue Zerg. Yeah, pouncing the RE Lings are coming from behind. Delaying the retreat. Ooh, speaking of delay though, speaking of catching someone off guard. Roaches, yeah, they do get dropped into the main. And from here, Reynor pulling back. +2 is, of course, kicking in for Serral. Does have the upgrade lead. The numbers aren't there. Oh. Okay. Buying more time. So we do have the tunneling pool roaches. Once again, harassing. And so far, that's 5 dead workers. Don't forget the stats pack, we don't forget. As yeah, we do see Reynor getting out positioned. Another expansion goes down, drop bullet in towards the third. Oh, as who catches who? Bit of engagements here out of Reynor. Once again, battling away. We could see an attempted surround at a Reynor. So let's hug the left hand side. Yeah, it does hug the left hand side instead. So Reynor getting caught out for a moment at least. Before catching out Serral. More, still quite intense here between the two players and between the two armies. Upgrades are neck and neck. It just comes down to control. So far the biles are connecting. Yeah, they're connecting on Serral. But Serral comes in for the surround, comes in from behind. That might just be too much. And with that, we do see Reynor trying to force his way forward to have the defensive advantage here for Serral. Needs a little bit more time, a couple more roaches. He's almost there. Once again. And Reynor forced to back off. And still down by 10 workers. It's one of those things where Serral's had an advantage for quite some time, but he cannot leverage it into a win here. You can see. I mean, that's the advantage that we're referring to. Like, Serral has been ahead in the economy for quite some time. So let's move in. Moves in, zones away, just bullying back and zoning away Reynor. And so he's maxed. Here he's maxed out. Hang in there. Unfortunately, this tech here from Reynor is just a little bit delayed. Here once again, Serral just pokes in, picks up a couple of roaches, pulls away. The Reynor just being pulled apart. He's stuck on 3 expansions. Yeah, and it has just been this kind of slow death here for Reynor, where he can't afford these losses. It's just losing 1, 2, 3 roaches at a time. Cunning plan, you can't get a wedge if you don't have pants. True, true. Just don't wear them. You'll be fine, Pappy. You'll be fine. Oh. As once again, Serral just trying to push into the previously set up CranKy here. Reynor, he bleeds out 3 more drones. Is there enough copium, Pappy? Is there enough hopium? That's maybe a better word. To bring it back for Reynor. There definitely is a chance, especially... Oh, never mind. I was going to say if there's no detection. Oh. This is the rotary roach that often kind of gave ZvZ a bit of a worse reputation. Is that you get the roach wars, and again, it can just be very difficult surpassing your opponent. For sure. So now 6 turns going down. Working on here. It's looking worse for wear. This one, we're kind of waiting for Serral to commit. He can afford to trade inefficiently, like he has had the better economy for a very, very long time here. He's just been poking in, been very careful. He obviously doesn't see what we see either. He doesn't know how little Reynor has to work with. So let's get supply block. Serral collapsing in, diving on the roaches, better engagement here for Serral, and this might just be too much. Breaks through the main army, gets off the Ravagers, and GG gets called. Again, it was a bit of a slower death here for Reynor. Again, like 3-4 minutes where Reynor, he was just down and out. Serral couldn't quite kill, but I mean, Reynor didn't really have much opportunities to recover in that kind of game state. GG, well played. Serral, he does extend his lead, and Serral, he needs 1 more game, 1 last to claim the series and to advance on into the set grand finals. 1 more game for Serral. Let's go. Uno más, papi, uno más. Intense roach wars. I mean, kind of, as I mentioned, like it was Reynor dying for like 4 minutes. Like it was okay. It was Reynor dying for like 4 minutes there. So it was just very much an uphill battle. Very much so. Very uphill.
What's up, Ricardo?
Hello.
And we're going for a short break. We're going for a short break. We'll see you soon.
We're trying to find out what's your
content.
favorite thing in life. First of all,
and welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. I feel like it's when it comes to the game that they played there, obviously it's weighted heavily to the animals. How could you not love the animals, right? Like Clem, his in the end was bear, like Serral was pig, and Hero was dog. Like it's unfair. Like how could you ever go against them? For us, it had to be the duck. Would it be duck or would it be bunny for me now? True. We are the CranKy Ducklings though. The only person that deviated from that was Reynor, who apparently his favorite thing in the world is Rotterdam. Just interesting, papi, interesting. Oh no. Not like this. Roddy, better than Doggo. But otherwise, we're nearing the potentially the tail end of this series. Serral is up 3-1. He's up 3-1. One more game, and Serral he will claim the series. I do apologize for being a little bit low energy for that last game, for that Roach versus Roach previous game that we just had between Serral and Reynor. It is 4:30 a.m. in the morning, and the fatigue is hitting for sure. The fatigue is hitting me. And unfortunately, I didn't quite get to like splash water on my face during the break like I usually do, because I was curious as to where all this led us. But wanted to find out. Best thing in the world, doggo, papi doggo. Bear, chantito. For now, we are getting ready for a potential final game of the series. We're hoping for a back and forth. We're hoping that Reynor can, of course, fight back, put points on the board, and continue the series. We're going to be loading into Sandworm. Let's go. Send it, baby. Send. Este light animal. True. Yeah, I'm getting a little bit fatigued, not gonna lie. But the show must go on. And spawning in the right hand corner of Sandworm, we have the Italian Zerg player. We have the blue Zerg for Basilisk. Down heavily in this series. He has to fight back here and now. Can he do so? Can he extend it? Can we take it to the next game? It is Reynor. God. Yo, the crowd is not mic'd up. In the left-hand corner, we have the Finnish Zerg player. We have the red Zerg representing Basilisk as well. One game away from claiming the series. It is Serral. Zerg, a 100% win rate in ZvZ. True. ZvZ. Imba, papi, imba. Meanwhile, shout out to Maestros of the game, of course. Shout out to TKL, to Funka, and to Koka for, of course, organizing, hosting, running the events, booking the venue, and all the work they do behind the scenes. Of course, much love as we're getting into our own ZvZ. So far, hatch gas full all around. Standard opener so far. Welcome to Sandworm. Sandworm does have some unique quirks when it comes to the third base. There's of course the goal base in the center that can be taken as a third or as a fourth. So goal bases could come into play. Likewise, a bit of a shorter rush distance by ground as well, so aggression can be favored here, but to counteract that, there is a ramp coming up in towards the natural. Likewise, there's also going to be the Dragon's Teeth in the center that can be utilized to make some army movements and some other army pathing a little bit more awkward as well. But we shall see. Roddy better than pizza for Reynor. Is he really Italian? True. Fake Italian. Oh no. More like psychopath to his body for SE2. Light is true. True. Oh no. Not like this. Yeah. I'll make it to the finals at least. Then I'm gonna have to take some drastic measures for said finals to make it through. I also feel a little bit bad. Recently I have been, of course, letting out my new pet bunnies to free roam the room. But usually I do it whenever I'm around, I'm around to supervise and make sure that nothing's wrong. And usually they'd be roaming now. I mean, they would have been roaming up until this point. But that is not the case tonight, just because of the cast, which is very long and going very deep late into the night. So they have been in their enclosure today. So I would like to let them out eventually. I guess tomorrow. No. Don't want them to be running wild while we're casting Maestros, papi. Oh, as we are going for a Ling Flood. Ling Flood out of Serral. Ling Flood out of Reynor. We have our 16 Lings. Behind this, still going to be droning, of course, but applying quite a bit of pressure. Quite a bit. Things do move out. Bailey's morphing in for Reynor. And Reynor, he should be okay. He's with his queen that can respond. Supposed to move out. Likewise. Oh. So waddling in. Bailey's getting low. One Bailey goes off. Oh. As Serral does pull away. Yeah, it does pull away. Banelings are lost, and in the end, Reynor holds. Reynor, he holds, he defends. Both players are joining. Meanwhile, both players are going for a faster Roach Warren. Slightly faster for Reynor, but Serral not too far behind. Hashtag bunny cam needed. True, true. The bungee cam. As we had a decent Baneling connection there. I'm very tempted to set up the bunny cam. I just need to... as that is an investment. Big investment. One day, papi, one day. If we do get a bunny cam, most likely it will replace the plushies. The plushies when we're casting. That'll be where the bunny cam goes. True. We'll get there. Meanwhile, Reynor's pushing. Now, Reynor, he's not all in. This is an early move out. That is true, but he's droning. Reynor, he's droning up behind this. He is saturating. Baneling gets targeted down. So far, so good. Serral's holding. He'll lose a queen. Queen does pull away in time. And Serral, he's barely holding on here. But remember, Reynor, he's been droning the entire time. He's been droning up. And now it's on Serral to play catch up. Serral starts +1 range. He's now droning, trying to play catch up. Or trying to catch up as best he can. He's droning, going for his own counterattack as well. So he's rotating. Remember, he is droning up behind this, so he has no intention to commit. Just trying to force a reaction of his opponent. And he is forcing out roaches. He's forcing out zerglings as well. Yeah, Reynor is going for it. Reynor, he's committing. As Reynor is not getting any Evo Chamber, Reynor is cutting workers at 50. He does have a layer, he does have roach speed on the way, but only roach speed. Nothing else. And Reynor, he's going for an all-in. So it's going to be essentially a 2-base all-in. With a bit of saturation at the third. Bit of saturation. And if Serral drones up from here, he's going to be in danger. Thankfully, he's not droning. He's making roaches. He's getting the gold. This is greedy. This is very greedy here from Serral. Now is not the time for an expansion. That could just be more roaches. That could be more roaches here. He's down 20 supply. 20 army supply. Okay, there he cancels. Yeah, he knows. Yeah, now he knows. He cancels the base. We have a Ling run by here behind the army towards the natural. Oh, he gets in. Yeah, he does get in. Serral out of position. So he's trying to hold on. Drones are going down. Banelings just try to connect. Serral taking a bile to the face. And did he cancel earlier? He did. Yeah, he canceled the Spine Crawler. Which means Reynor, he may just have too much. He's overwhelming. Trying to break through that main army. So he cannot quite reinforce in time. And again, Reynor, he should have enough. So he refuses to pull the boys. Does refuse. I say that again with the defenders popping out. Right in the front lines. Serral, he's actually surviving. No shot. He's holding. Serral, he's holding on. He shuts down the all-in. He has +1, of course. He has the better upgrades. And Serral, he still maintains the better economy as well. Ay. And Serral does survive. Barely. Now he can take a gold. And he's going for the gold base. Reynor getting a little bit desperate. Does go for the Spire. Spire has a lot of potential, of course. If if he can get there. I'm getting a little bit of deja vu here. We'll see if Serral strikes with +2. See if he goes earlier. As we have speed on the way. Overlord speed on the way for Serral. Power as well. It's doubling down on roaches. And the Spire is about to finish. He gets scouted. Yeah, ZvZ comes in. Serral gets a full scout. He responds with a Hydrogen, and he will claim the gold. Oof. So Serral's getting further ahead here. Mutas have potential to deal damage, but Reynor also knows he got scouted. Reynor, he has 1 Muta on the way. Oh, now to 2. Yeah, so Mutas will soon hit the field. Reynor still cannot break through those roaches though. Not without his own upgrade. A couple of Hydras in the mix. I also just realized it's the first time this series that Reynor is actually going into Muta play. Was something he was avoiding. As Serral does take the better fight, does start to step in. At the same time, nice run by. Yeah, the goal is up. Serral has the better economy. This is going to be a tough hold. Ah, no. Reynor, he doesn't see it. He does. Dust with them. Roaches are slipping into the main. They're slipping into the natural. They will unburrow. And for the most part, Reynor's keeping up. As he will lose the expansion. Will lose his own base. Once again, these are still better traits for Serral. He's got +2. Does graze the army. Okay. Does graze, but remember, Serral, he can just rebuild, he can remax. Roaches, they get into the mineral line. And Reynor, he just doesn't really have that much left over. Serral's got 15 more roaches in production. But all the roaches. And the Mutas were lackluster. The Mutas didn't really achieve too much. I think they got like maybe 1, maybe 2 Overlords. So he's maxed. He's maxed out. Reynor down 70 supply. And Jesus. Sorry. Freaked out for a moment there. But yeah, Serral, he's pushing. He's going in. He's going in for the kill. Unfortunately, Reynor, he just cannot keep up. GG gets called. He cannot keep up. Not anymore. And Serral, he will take the series 4-2. 4-1. 4-1. GG. Well played. Serral. GG, well played. Again, it was just a really unfortunate setup there from Reynor. Winding it back, as a reminder, Reynor, he was all-in. Reynor, he committed to an all-in. The all-in did fail. As it failed, remember, it was not hash-based, it was lair-based. He had gotten into roach speed, but no Eva chamber, no +1, no drones behind it either. And after it barely failed as well. It was so close. to be honest. It was so close it almost broke Serral, but Serral, he barely held on, somehow survived, even with the higher drone count, and with that, GG. GG,
First
well
of
played.
all, congratulations. You just access to the final of Maestros of the Game against Clem. How does it feel?
It feels amazing. I knew it's gonna be a hard road from the losers bracket. Beating Hero and Reynor is never gonna be easy. So I'm very happy.
Clem is usually a very tough opponent for everyone, and maybe especially for ZvZ. Do you think you can take it from him in front of his crowd?
Well, it's gonna be hard, like you said. Clem's always really hard for me as well, and yeah, I need to play really well to take him down. But I think I'm capable of doing that, and it's gonna be hard as always.
And if you were to win Maestros of the Game first edition, would you come back for a second?
Yeah. Well, yeah, you kind of have to defend the title always, but I mean, I hope to be here even if I'm second place, but yeah.
No, if you're second place, you're not invited. Just kidding. Thank you very much, sir. A big round of applause. Congratulations. Il est plus sur la scène, vous pouvez arrêter. Donc pour résumer quand même vite fait pour ceux qui seraient moins anglophones, dans l'idée, c'est il est très content.
With that, I believe we're going to be going on a. So, the plan, I believe, was to go for an extended break, but I don't know if that's the case anymore, just because the matches have been the series have been going for so much, for so much longer, I should say. So because of that, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see how long the break is going to be. Oh, true. Lose interview. True. Let's hear from Reynor. Let's hear it, Pappy. Let's hear it. Ah.
It's always a downer to lose in an event, but I'm guessing I'm asking, how do you feel seeing all this love from the community? Like, you showed us amazing game, and how do you feel?
Well, even though I lost, to be honest, I'm still happy, because I'm happy I came, I'm happy I played in the tournament. The crowd is absolutely amazing. It's been... It's been a long time since I played with a crowd like this, so it's a good feeling still, even though I lost.
Who will you be cheering for in the finals? The teammate or the rival, the homeboy?
Well, obviously I'll be cheering for Serral, because I think, first of all, Clem, I think, has enough cheering here. Well, I think Clem has enough cheering here, as we can see, and Serral is also my teammate, and yeah.
And he does need his fan as well. And same question as Serral. Would you come back for a second edition of Maestros of the Game?
Of course. Perhaps I'll take the next one, we'll see.
Thank you very much, Reynor. Big round of applause.
Oh, what is that camera looking at? What's it? But yes, shout out to the crowd. Shout out to the crowd, Pappy. Shout out to the crowd. As we are getting ready for the grand finals, again, it's going to be best of 7. Best of 7 between Serral and Clem. They're going to be getting ready, of course. They're showing off the trophy as we speak, with that lovely record, of course. And the question becomes, are we going to be hearing another rap from Funk and Coca? I hope so. I hope so. Like, for the people, Pappy, for the people. We got to get it. We got it. Hi. But yes, we're gonna be going on a break. Maybe an extended break as well. Let's see. Yeah, true. Show us a shop. Let's go shopping, Pappy. Let's go shopping. Atmosphere seems to be absolutely amazing. Yeah, it's a solid atmosphere. It's good. It's good. Solid, Pappy. Solid. Always difficult for anyone going up against the home crowd favorite in Clem, of course. Obviously, the exciting thing about this next series is that these two did not face off at EWC. In the interview afterwards, Serral even said that he was very grateful that that Classic was his opponent and not Clem. In the Esports World Cup, as they did, of course, never face because Classic brought Clem down. So they never did face off. Oh, never did play. But now we get to see them face off here and now. So see you soon after the break, as we're about to get some content. See you soon. Oh no, I think they broke it. I think they broke the break. Oh no. But I'm going to go freshen up. Splash water on my face and get some water and maybe some tea as well. And get ready for the final series of the broadcast. And also check on my bunnies. Make sure they're okay. We'll see you soon. See you soon after the break.